And there's a question about whether he was taking a shot at Justin. Here's the clip.
Sorry about that. Come here, girl.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Deadpool. And I guess you're a Deadpool, too. But in here, everybody calls me Nice Pool.
Oh my goodness, wait till you see Lady Pool. She is gorgeous. She just had a baby too, and can't even tell.
I don't think you're supposed to say that.
That's okay. I identify as a feminist.
Right.
If your wife is sexually harassed, you don't make fun of Justin Baldoni. You don't make fun of the situation. You take it.
Oh, they love to hate.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
They get so much hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean,
yeah.
it is a rabies infested hen.
It was just due to the fact that she seems like a rather shitty in the public eye. She's just used to being Hollywood's golden girl. And she had such thin skin that after having a couple negative things happen to her for a month, she had to blame him. She just.
My favorite part of what I've read of this suit so far is that Blake Lively did not even read the book that the movie was based on.
Correct.
And we're not talking War and Peace. This is a book that's probably written at a second grade reading.
She's basically saying that she does not want to sit down for a deposition with Brian Friedman. Like, I know that this girl grew up rich and privileged, but how rich we talking? You know what I'm saying? Because does she think she's just like a princess that she can just be like, I don't like your...
Have you ever seen a Hollywood favorite go from adored to nearly exiled in what feels like a single breath? That's exactly the dramatic turn Blake Lively is facing today. Once admired as one of Hollywood's brightest and most graceful stars, she now finds herself at the center of a growing storm, one fueled by her explosive lawsuit against Justin Baldoni. What began as a straightforward legal confrontation has morphed into a media frenzy, capturing public attention and sparking endless debate across social platforms. The backlash has been intense and swift. Once loyal fans and even some of her closest friends in the industry have gone quiet, their silence speaking volumes. That sudden withdrawal of support has only deepened the intrigue and suspicion surrounding her case. Blake's public persona, once built on elegance, relatability, and Hollywood sophistication, is now being dissected like never before. Every interview, post, and appearance is examined for clues about her true motives and state of mind. The lawsuit has unleashed a wave of claims and counterclaims, blurring the line between truth and speculation. As narratives collide, the court of public opinion grows louder, often more influential than the legal one. Blake's previous successes, her acclaimed roles, red carpet poise, and beloved public image, are suddenly overshadowed by this unfolding controversy. Now, the question remains, can she survive this media and legal storm with her reputation intact, or is this the start of a painful fall from grace? Behind the polished Hollywood exterior lies a far more complex and troubling story, one that could permanently alter how Blake Lively is remembered in the industry she once ruled.
You tried to play this in the press. Like, you went to the New York Times to try to take him down and to set a public narrative. And now that it's backfiring, you guys went to the New York Times. Oh, nobody could be bigger than the New York Times before you filed your lawsuit, as all of the evidence is indicating, because you wanted to set the public narrative against Justin Baldoni. Now that it's backfiring, you're like, hey, I want people gagged. This is unprofessional to go to the press. Everyone sees right through.
Hollywood has always thrived on dazzling personalities and headline-grabbing scandals, but this time, the controversy surrounding Blake Lively has reached unprecedented heights. It all began when the actress took a daring and unexpected step, filing a $250 million lawsuit against actor and producer Justin Baldoni. The accusations she leveled were not only serious but potentially career-shattering, alleging misconduct that, if proven true, could send shockwaves through an industry already under constant scrutiny. The response was instant and overwhelming. Major media outlets, gossip columns, and social platforms lit up with endless commentary, dissecting every line of the legal filing and every possible motive behind it. At first, the tide seemed firmly in Blake's favor. She was, after all, one of Hollywood's most beloved figures, a star known for her grace, poise, and enduring popularity, often seen alongside her equally adored husband, Ryan Reynolds. With her sterling reputation and charm, it was easy for the public to assume she was taking a stand for justice. But as the story gained momentum, a different narrative began to emerge. Whispers of hidden agendas and personal vendettas crept into the conversation. Was Blake's lawsuit a pure pursuit of accountability? Or was there something deeper at work, perhaps a bid to control the public story or shield other aspects of her life from exposure? Insiders hinted at mounting tensions and behind-the-scenes maneuvering that painted a far more complicated picture than the one first presented. What began as a legal claim has now evolved into a full-scale Hollywood drama, one that could reshape not only Blake's career but her relationships and long-cultivated image. In an industry where perception can make or break a legacy, the stakes couldn't be higher. As the world watches the case unfold, the question lingers: is this a moment of empowerment and justice, or the spark of a scandal that could forever alter how Blake Lively is remembered?
What Ryan Reynolds, has seemingly done, right, is used his power and influence to not only help Blake Lively take over this movie, but, he's used it, on Deadpool and to make fun of Justin.
From the moment Blake Lively's lawsuit against Justin Baldoni became public, questions began to swirl. Almost instantly, social media filled with speculation about her motives and timing. Why now? What had prompted such a drastic step? For a while, few dared to challenge her narrative. Blake had long been one of Hollywood's most admired figures, elegant, composed, and seemingly beyond reproach. Questioning her story risked backlash from fans and an industry that had often treated her as untouchable. Justin Baldoni, though respected and well-liked, simply didn't possess the same level of star power. Many assumed he would quietly settle, disappear from the spotlight, and let Blake's image remain pristine. But what came next completely upended those expectations. Instead of retreating, Justin Baldoni struck back with a $400 million countersuit accusing Blake of defamation and false allegations. The move was bold and unexpected, instantly flipping the narrative and forcing Blake onto the defensive. Suddenly, what had looked like a straightforward legal battle turned into a high-stakes Hollywood showdown. Justin's team didn't just file paperwork, they arrived armed with evidence, text messages, emails, and behind-the-scenes footage that appeared to contradict some of Blake's claims. Communications once described as harassment was shown in a different light: friendly, mutual, and at times even initiated by her, casting serious doubt on her accusations. The public reaction was explosive. Media outlets scrambled to reassess their coverage, and social platforms ignited with heated debate over who was telling the truth. As both lawsuits merged into a single sprawling case, the tension only escalated. Every legal maneuver was scrutinized, every motion dissected by the press. Blake's attempts to limit disclosures or impose a gag order were swiftly denied by the court, opening the door for every detail, no matter how sensitive, to become public. What followed was a full-blown media circus. Once celebrated allies grew silent. A-list friends who had once praised her publicly began to distance themselves, issuing cautious, non-committal statements, or none at all. Even longtime supporters like Taylor Swift and Scarlett Johansson refrained from comment, their silence speaking volumes. In an industry where loyalty often depends on reputation, Blake found herself increasingly isolated. The shift in media tone was just as dramatic. Publications that had initially portrayed her as a victim began walking back earlier narratives as evidence surfaced. Stories grew more neutral, then skeptical, as the emerging facts seemed to contradict the original claims. Hollywood's once golden couple, Blake and Ryan Reynolds, suddenly found themselves under intense scrutiny. Ryan's early support gave way to an ill-judged attempt at humor when he joked about the lawsuit during a televised appearance, a move that backfired spectacularly. Instead of softening the blow, his jokes made the couple appear detached and dismissive, leading audiences to question how seriously they viewed the allegations. As depositions proceeded, leaks from inside the courtroom revealed mounting inconsistencies in Blake's testimony. Documents and messages suggested a more complex relationship between her and Justin than she had initially presented. One key revelation, a private joke she had later claimed was harassment, was shown through texts to have been mutual, even friendly, devastating her credibility. The fallout was swift. Industry insiders began labeling her a high-risk investment, while studios quietly reconsidered future collaborations. By this point, the legal drama had evolved into something far greater, a public reckoning about image, truth, and perception in modern celebrity culture. Social media amplified every revelation, turning the case into a running narrative dissected by millions. Fans who once idolized her began expressing disillusionment, questioning whether the lawsuit had been about justice or personal gain. The carefully crafted public persona that had defined Blake Lively's career, poised, admired, and relatable, was unraveling before everyone's eyes. What began as a bold legal move had transformed into a cautionary tale about the fragility of fame and the peril of underestimating public accountability. In Hollywood, where image is everything and truth is often blurred by performance, Blake's downfall became a stark reminder that even the most polished stars can lose their footing when the spotlight turns from admiration to interrogation. In Hollywood, where image and reliability are everything, few things unsettle studios more than controversy surrounding their stars. Every production relies on talent that can sell tickets without bringing unwanted drama. And right now, Blake Lively has become the name at the center of a storm no one wants to touch. Once considered one of the industry's most trusted and glamorous leading ladies, Blake is now facing intense scrutiny from producers, casting directors, and major brands. Behind closed doors, conversations revolve around risk. Can she still be trusted to lead a multimillion-dollar film without overshadowing it with scandal? What if she loses her case against Justin Baldoni and is publicly branded as dishonest? These questions are shaking confidence not only in her career but also in her family's broader brand. The potential fallout extends to her husband, Ryan Reynolds, a box office powerhouse with major business ventures tied to his public persona. A court ruling against the couple, potentially costing hundreds of millions, could send financial shockwaves through their shared empire. While both are wealthy by any measure, the sheer scale of the countersuit, $400 million, poses real danger to their investments, sponsorships, and partnerships. For companies that value pristine public images, association with ongoing legal drama could become a liability overnight. Industry observers also note a deeper shift beneath the surface. If Blake's case ultimately results in a high-profile loss or exposes new legal precedents, it could reshape how Hollywood handles defamation claims and celebrity disputes altogether. Studios may begin rewriting contracts with new clauses to protect themselves from reputational fallout, fundamentally changing how power and accountability operate in the entertainment world. What began as a personal legal battle has evolved into a defining moment for how Hollywood measures trust and risk in its stars. For Blake Lively, this is no longer just about winning in court. It's about survival. Her lawsuit, once expected to bring vindication or discreet settlement, has exploded into one of the industry's most closely watched crises. Friends and allies who once cheered her on have largely vanished from public view, their silence echoing louder than words. Media outlets have turned relentless, exposing inconsistencies in her narrative and highlighting every contradiction between her claims and the evidence presented by Justin's team. His meticulous strategy, backed by tangible proof, has not only strengthened his defense but also repositioned him as the more credible figure in the eyes of many observers. Meanwhile, Ryan Reynolds' handling of the situation has only complicated matters. His decision to use humor, most notably joking about the lawsuit on Saturday Night Live, was seen by many as tone-deaf, fueling outrage online. What might have been an attempt to deflect tension instead came across as dismissive of serious allegations, sparking debates about empathy and accountability within celebrity culture. The result? Increased scrutiny on both of them, and a growing sense that their once golden image has lost its shine. Social media has turned this case into a digital trial of its own. Every appearance, post, and interview is dissected by fans and critics alike, with online sleuths drawing connections between past behaviors and current claims. Sympathy has largely eroded, replaced by skepticism and fatigue. Many now wonder if the lawsuit was less about justice and more about control, or even financial gain for Hollywood. This case is a warning. The business thrives on illusion, but the modern audience's ability to access evidence and form opinions in real time makes it impossible to contain a narrative once it spirals out of control. As studios quietly distance themselves and brand partners reconsider contracts, Blake faces a future where both her professional and personal legacies hang in the balance. Each court session brings the possibility of new revelations, witnesses yet to testify, private messages yet to surface, and unexpected twists that could redefine everything. Every legal motion, every public statement, and every misstep is magnified under the unforgiving glare of public attention. At this point, Blake's story transcends personal drama. It has become a case study in the fragility of celebrity, the dangers of miscalculated strategy, and the power of perception in shaping careers. Whether Blake Lively can reclaim her footing, or whether this legal battle will forever alter her standing in Hollywood, remains uncertain. What is clear is that the outcome will reach far beyond one actress or one lawsuit. The repercussions will ripple through the industry, redefining how stars, studios, and audiences navigate truth, reputation, and accountability in the modern entertainment era. One thing's for sure, this saga is far from over. And in Hollywood, the next chapter is always the most unpredictable.